All right. So it says we're live. I'm just reloading my screen here to see if that is true. Let's see. So far, nothing. Interesting. There we go. There we go. All right. So it looks like we're live. I figured I'd start like at least a minute and a half early so I could spare you guys from being bored. Can everybody hear me okay? I just want to make sure the mic levels are good. So just want to make sure it sounds perfect. So it's kind of interesting. I had an interesting day. I went shooting today. Super, super happy about any time I can get to the range. But I got a small complaint about the range I was shooting at. I actually was going to go up to the range that is an hour away from me in Kingston, New York, which is called Safe Shoot. I actually talked to a buddy of mine who works there, and I was going to go up, but I had so much crap going on today and this weekend that I didn't want to go and drive an hour. So instead, I drove about 30 minutes, 35 minutes to the other range. And I'm super congested right now um, because their evacuation system, I guess their air vac system that's in there, is absolutely horrible. It was like it brought me back to being a fireman because I got home, man, I blew my nose and it was nothing but black soot coming out of my nose for about an hour and a half, and that's never a good thing. So I'm going to try that other place and see because right now I'm just been coughing up a lung. And you know what, guys? I don't really want to expose myself to all that stuff if I don't have to. Very, very poor ventilation. But nonetheless, it was kind of a mixed bag today at the range. And yes, Frank Hellman, shooting is still allowed in New York as long as you don't use real bullets. You have to go pew pew, and then you're good to go. So other than that, yeah, no, we can still shoot up here. So, interestingly enough, and thank you all, by the way, for joining me tonight. I know it was very short notice. I'm not sure exactly how many people are in the room right now. It says 27 people watching. So, again, thank you for joining me on a Saturday night in this impromptu chat. As you guys know, I don't really have a schedule for them. I just kind of throw it together and I go whenever I can. So thanks for joining me. Appreciate it. So Joshua Brackey, I think that's how you say your last name, sir. It says I just went shooting in the desert today near Queen Creek, Arizona, with a good friend of mine. Took my PPQ and put it through its paces, and it was glorious as you'd expect. And it's funny you say that, Josh, because I took the old PPQ out of the mothballs this weekend, and I shot this gun today, and holy crap, this gun is still friggin' great. What a surprise. So, for those of you out there who criticize the PPQ for being too bore access high or bore axis or too snappy, I'm going to tell you guys there's nothing wrong with this gun. And I had a great day with the PPQ. I had maybe an average to below average day with the PPS M2 RMSC, but that's not the gun's fault. It's my fault because I absolutely suck shooting red dots. And you can see that little red dot right there. So this is something that I need to work on, but it absolutely brings up a great point because, the world has gone mad for red dots. By the way, if you have not watched the series by the Humble Marksman on his red dot stuff, you need to check that stuff out. The guy knows more about it than I do, obviously. So he's put in a lot of work and a lot of time doing those videos. A very cerebral kind of guy. So he's always analyzes things from that context. So if you haven't seen those videos, definitely check them out. It has brought to my attention a lot of information. I am really just getting into red dots. I have not had massive experience. I actually shoot my 19 MOS much better than this gun in regards to the dot. But the RMSC was not bad. I mean, it performed really well. The dot is really small, so you can get nice shooting. At least somebody else could. But today was a very subpar shooting experience with it. Although I have to say, out of all the single stack subcompacts I've ever owned, this thing is the best in regards to lack of recoil and just overall like goodness, if that's even a word. I don't know. So let's see. Excuse me. Yeah, LZ USA is saying lead particles in the air. Yeah, man, it was so bad there today. And so obviously some people were using their own, loads or reloads. So there was so much just smoke in there, and you were just inhaling it all, and it was really bad today. It was the worst I've ever seen it. So I definitely am probably going to stay away from that place for a while until they get that stuff rectified because it was bad, man. Let's see. Let's see. Captain Shark said, let's talk new Walther Factory PPQ trigger. Let's talk about that, Captain Shark. Why not? So if you guys are not aware, Walther, they just put out the expert trigger for the, I think you can use it for any polymer PPQ and of course the SF. So that's pretty sweet if I'm correct on that. I think it's kind of strange though, because there were a lot of people who right away started saying that the PPQ-SF was not really built for competition. The grip is too short, the trigger is too long and too heavy. And then now Walther has come out with this expert trigger. So I wonder if that was kind of Walther's decision to go and release the gun, knowing that they had that trigger in the background. And I think it's going to be funny to see people eating their words now in regards to that trigger setup, because it looks ridiculous. I mean, it's an adjustable trigger, it's fully modular. And it's pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. If I ever get my hands on an SF or Q5 or anything, hint hint, Walther, it'd be awesome to be able to test that out. But we'll see. Who knows? So yeah, it looks pretty sweet. Let's see what else is going on. Range Randy saying PPQ still has one of the best triggers. I'm going to tell you this, Randy, right now. If you have a PPQ, go and invest some money in the Apex trigger. It is freaking ridiculous with this trigger on here. The take up is shorter, and it is such more of a controllable reset because it doesn't really have that really big pushing your finger out. Amazing, just absolutely amazing. I still love this gun, and the recoil on this is very manageable. No issues with it today. It was just a great day shooting that PPQ. I wish I could say the same thing about the PPS. Let's see. Humble Marksman's good channel. Yep. So go check that series out. So I'm giving him a big plug tonight because it's very useful. I mean, the red dots are an interesting beast. You guys know that my hands shake, so that makes it even harder to get a consistent grouping. But nonetheless, I mean, it was, like I said, it was average to below average with the PPS in regards to using the red dot. I mean, overall, the gun was great. So I'll do a review on that, and everybody can see how pitiful I was. So hello everybody again. If I haven't said your name, I didn't really do a call out or anything like that. So TN Steyer, how are you, sir? Let's see. Yeah, Music Lover, all PPQ platforms, which is pretty cool. They haven't released a price on it yet, so it's going to be interesting. It's going to be well over $100. At least I would think so. And I will tell you, if you do the job yourself, this is not an easy job, because this thing right here that connects your slide release, this is a pain in the ass to get out. I'm not going to lie to you. Let's see. Vicarious ADVZ, I did not have to do the recoil because the serial number is after the recoil. So that is why I actually bought this on Gunbroker used for under $600. All right, let's see what else is going on. Yes, PPQ does have a badass trigger, and it gets even better with that Apex. Is it better than the CZ-P10C? It's different. It's different. It's a smoother trigger, I think. But the reset on the P10 is very good. Short take up as well. Let's see. Anyone see the Polymer FK Bruno? I did see that. $2,000. Nope, not happening. PPQ is a striker single action trigger. It is, because it's 100% pre-cocked. Let's see. Yep, Dexter, I agree. People will say that the trigger should have been in the gun at debut, and I agree with that because of the expense of the gun. To then tack on another probably plus $100, I don't know if that's such a great idea. Let's see. Some design cues from Apex with the expert trigger. Also, single stacks in general are fairly difficult to shoot. I shoot my PPS decent, if I could say that, adequate for CCW. Yeah, I mean, it was okay. They weren't all over the place. It was actually, watching how I shot it, it was like low, mid, high. And the groups were fairly tight together. It wasn't consistent. And it's not the gun. I think it's my hands. But whatever. It is what it is. Why would they release the old trigger then with the new trigger? I don't know. Marketing, maybe they realized they made a big boo-boo. Maybe they wanted to get the gun out and then have that trigger later at that point. Honestly, I think if you paid whatever that is, I think, what is it, like $1,600? Honestly, I think they should ship those triggers out to people, no charge. Let's see. So Let's see. Any chance I'll get the new Steyr M9? I am hoping to. It would be a great surprise if I could get that gun. Again, I don't know if it's going to happen. You know, I'm going to do my best to get one. Um, let's see. TN Steyr, I was just talk about you in my live streaming. Are you drinking, sir? No, I'm thinking it's supposed to be. I was just talking about you. Oh, well, thank you. Hopefully it was positive. I hope. Pat's asking CZP07, is it worth getting a trigger job? I do not own a P07 or a P09 anymore. I have sold those guns. I've moved away from the polymer hammer fired CZs. I know that's blasphemy for all the CZ people out there, but I prefer the P01s. You know, it's more of what I want. And as a result, I did not need the P07 any longer. Am I looking for any P10 optic ready pistols? Yes and no. And I'll explain what I mean by that. Yes, because it's a new gun. No, because I'm not sure I actually want one, if that makes sense. The reason why I say that, I've been watching some videos, and one of the things that I don't like, which may not be a big deal for some, is I don't like the way the plates fit on the gun. You know, I saw, like, for example, Pops Quest had a really good video where he showed up close. I think he had a Delta Point Pro on it, but it just seemed like it was a little bit too high. The plate seems very thick, and it doesn't really fit the whole slide, which again, it's not a big deal if you don't really care. Pops explained that it was a tool for him, and I get it. But I think it would have been nice to see a little bit more of a finished look to it, and it doesn't look like that to me. So I don't know where I'm at with it at this point. I'm actually considering milling my P10C and using that to see how I like it, and then maybe just getting a regular P10S if they're ever available, and having that milled also. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Where's that Caracol? Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. Again, it has completely vanished off the radar, which is kind of disappointing because, you know, that was the gun I was looking for. And again, there's been nothing on it, nothing at all. Scott saying the only polymer striker fired CZ he would buy is this Phantom. The Phantom I would get again. I'm not going to lie. I agree with that. I love the Phantom. I think if I was going to go looking for full-sized polymer CZ and I had the P09 versus the Phantom, I would pick the Phantom 10 out of 10 times just because I think it's more ergonomically friendly, and I just think it's a better gun. And I like the trigger better. Mill the M&P. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that. It'd be nice if they would have come out with that. Let's see. So TN Steyr it was. I was talking about trigger you sent me. Call this week about the A2. Really? I shall do that, my friend. So it says, Scott saying my local shop got in a P10S today from Kentucky Gun Company. I wonder, what are your thoughts on that? What did you think? And Dave is saying he loves these Saturday night chats. Well, I appreciate it. I do appreciate that. Nate Hill is asking, have I shot the 48 anymore since videos? It's kind of funny you say that, because guess what I took with me? I took the 48 because I wasn't happy with how I was shooting it last time. And I still, I don't know, man. I like the gun a lot. I don't know where I stand with this gun just yet. I did the trigger job, so I got the Apex trigger on it, which makes a huge improvement in regards to the way the trigger feels. The sights I put on Ameriglows, the iDot Pros, excellent sights. I think what my problem today was I was just bouncing around too much, and I have a tendency to do that sometimes. Maybe I have ADHD, I don't know, but I probably shouldn't have taken this gun today. I should have just focused on the PPS, and I wanted to shoot the PPQ, and I shot this last, and it's just kind of a different cup of tea in regards to shooting these two much more ergonomically friendly handguns and then going with this one. But, you know, it was good. It was nice. You know, I didn't film anything with it. I just wanted to shoot some of these guns today. But I think the trigger made a big improvement for me. Again, it's not for everybody, which is fine. The sights are great. You guys know I love Ameriglows. The only thing I would say to you is that after changing out the trigger, I noticed I was getting a little bit of a feeling in my trigger finger. But I had put about, I mean, I brought like 500 rounds with me today, and it was a long day. Let's put it that way. So I'm actually going to be taking this out again. I'm going to actually be taking out the PPS M2 and the Glock 19 MOS, because I got to do something with the red dots, man, because I absolutely suck at shooting those guns. Or at least the red dots, not those guns, the red dots. Let's see. Pat, I sent my CZP-10C out to Jaegerworks to be milled for the Holosun. Oh, you guys with the freaking Holosuns. That's the one I want, man. Can't afford it. It has the same footprint as the RMR Trijicon. Yeah, I really like that, the Holosun, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's just right now, budget-wise, it's not in the picture. Let's see. My P10C had one of the grittiest triggers I ever had, an HBI trigger and a polish, and is one of the best now. Yeah, I have an HB Industries trigger on mine. As a matter of fact, I was carrying my P10C today in my Tolster holster, which, by the way, is very comfortable. And yeah, I love the HB Industries trigger. It's a good trigger. Core 2.0. Yep, it is long overdue. Let's go, Smith. Let's get a move on it. Pre-milled slides. I don't know if anybody sells the pre-milled slides. I don't know if they do that. Not yet. Sam is saying he almost missed this. You wouldn't have missed much, Sam. Let's see. We're picking it up. He let me handle it. Wasn't bad, but I think I go for the Optics Ready C model. That's interesting, Scott. Yeah, I don't know how I stand with the S, I know KS just did that video. If I can only have one between the Glock 26, and he picked the 26, surprisingly. But I know he's a Glock guy. Let's see. Do I watch Game of Thrones, the best show in history? I do watch Game of Thrones. My favorite ever seen on TV or anything was Battle of the Bastards. So if you haven't seen that, guys, you need to watch that. That was probably one of the finest like combat fighting episodes ever. It was that good. Anything new in my FN collection? No. I'm not an FN guy. I don't see the interest for me personally in the FN 509M, which is the midsize. And I just got some Ameriglow night sights on them. So I'm going to be doing a review on the Ameriglow sights because I love them. They're fantastic. Let's see. Joshua, how do you have your RMSC sighted in 7 to 10 yards? Actually, I started at 10 and then I brought it in. So I started at 10, I got it to 7 yards and I felt pretty good with it, but I don't want it to give away too much until I make the video, because there's something I'm going to address in the video that I found after 125 rounds through that gun, which I didn't know if I was happy with it or not, but I'll talk more about that in the video when it's done. Let's see. Where to get good deals on safes for rifles and pistols. Check Craigslist, man. Sometimes people let that stuff go for free. Indestructible. Did I go see Captain Marvel? Not yet. I will be taking the kids, or at least my son. Hello, Jeff. Yep. Watching this and the UFC fights. That's great. I'm sure they deserve much more, much more watchers than I do. Let's see. TPSFN. I think it's TP9SF. Now it comes with a pre-milled slide ready for an optic. Yeah, I just am not a Canik fan. I had problems with them. Let's see. What's up, Bizza? What's going on, homie? Let's see. Pat is asking, 1776, my question to the group, how many of you guys have a light when you carry a gun? I actually have one on my keychain. It's a small one, but it's a very powerful one. But I don't have one on my gun. So the Indestructible saying you can't watch Captain Marvel since he's a white man. I have not heard that, but I'm a brown man, so I'm assuming I can watch it. I don't know. Let's see. Kathleen Music Lover. Am I really quitting YouTube? No, I'm not. I just said that for the drama. Plus, I wanted to see who really hated me and see what they would say. Let's see. So anyway, let's talk about YouTube. So obviously you guys know that a lot of channels have been getting some issues with their monetization. And so a lot of videos are being demonetized, and a lot of the channels that are coming across, again, are saying it's cutting into their income, I guess. I don't know if you want to call it income, but yeah, so I guess YouTube is up to its old nasty tricks. Fortunately for me, I have not been hit by anything at this point, knock on wood. Although, I mean, the amount of money I actually make off of YouTube is not that great. But I look at it from the standpoint of, whatever little I get from YouTube helps support what I do. Not to buy guns, but to buy ammunition. That's what I wanted to say. So, for me, every month recently, I've been doing about $150. That's not bad, guys. That's actually pretty good. It used to be that every 3 months. Now it's up to 1 month. And I don't have a problem saying that because, again, I don't ask you guys for anything. You know, I know there are some that do, and that's their own prerogative, and whatever works for them is great. But I am not going to ask you to, you know, finance what I do, because it's really, to me, I'm not really providing a service that is financeable by you guys. Plus, you have your own things you want to do. Let's see. Yeah, Frank, you're right. A lot of channels do fund their costs from YouTube, but a lot of channels also fund their hobbies from all of you. Again, I'm not going to get into that. It's up to them to decide if they want to do that. However, for me, I just can't. I can't for the life of me say to you, "Hey, give me your money so that I can have fun with it." I mean, I just have never heard anything like that. But I've always worked. I've always had a job. I've always busted my butt, and I don't plan on changing that. Let's see. Josh is saying, I was almost seriously disappointed. Glad you're not going away. Yeah, I'm not. I see. Why would I go away? You know, what's the point? It's fun. You know. Let's see. Biz's channel was completely demonetized a few months ago. Reapplied after 30 days and still haven't heard anything. Yeah, some of my videos have been demonetized for like a year, and I put in things and I never heard anything back. So I don't know. Whatever. It is what it is. You know, can't cry over it. Let's see. Scott saying he doesn't have enough subs to get monetized. All right. So everybody has to go to Scott P79's channel and subscribe to him so he can get monetized. I forget how many subs you need. I think it's 100 subs or something like that. I'm not sure. David saying 150 a month for ammo. Yep. And listen, that helps. You know, $150 will buy me about 500 rounds. And, you know, I'm happy with that. I'm okay with that. Would I like to see it go to $300 a month? Sure. Who the hell wouldn't? But you know, it's all about views. It's all about the numbers of your subscribers. So if you have a lot of subs and you get a lot of views, you're not making too bad money, guys, doing this. So I'll just throw it out there. Do I prefer a thumb up or down? I don't care. Whatever you feel like. If you feel like thumbing me down, then by golly, thumb me down, damn it. Let's see. Daniel is saying if I monetize, I would use money for cigarettes. That's a very unhealthy habit, sir. Spend it on ammo. All right. So Dexter's saying to Scotty's already subbed you to help you out. So there you go. This is how we work, guys. My thoughts on Gab's Dissenter. I don't know what the hell that is, Josh. You got to tell me what that is. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Let's see. 1,000 subs now. I could be wrong. I think you're right, Bizza. I can't remember. Can't remember. Let's see. All right. So at this point, Scott's going to get 1,000 subscribers. Even though I think there's probably less than 100 watching right now. So, you know, we'll do what we can for you, Scott. We'll do what we can. You know, if we can help you expand your channel, then damn it, we're going to do it. So anyway, talking about the demonetization, you know, it's kind of a shame that once again, we play these games where we have to sit here and see channels that, you know, put out some good stuff, getting demonetized. You know, is it going to be a permanent issue again? It's hard to say. I mean, last time a lot of people were sitting out there making videos saying, if I disappear, then this is where you can find me. Again, I don't know if that's going to be the case this time. You know, they go through these ebb and flows of stupidity with YouTube. So the likelihood of it lasting forever, well, I mean, if history has any role in this, it won't be for forever. But you know, everybody has to do what they need to do. Nate Hill's asking, of all the holsters you did videos on for last month or for holster month, which brand do you use most consistently? 100% Black Arch holsters. I use them the most consistently. They're most comfortable for me. I just love their stuff. But again, today I was carrying the Tolster holster. The other day I was carrying a Vetter holster. The other day I was carrying a Harry's holster. So it just depends. Depends on the day and depends on the gun. But for me, the majority of my holsters are Black Arch. Let's see. Pistol Pete saying he's got 3 subs and 0 content. So again, Pistol Pete, I would tell everybody to go and sub your channel, although they may be a little bored. Let's see. Scott has seen a few people have no videos that actually have a few hundred subs. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Kathleen's asking, for 9mm, does anyone shoot heavier grain than 115? It depends. For me, it's always about what's on sale. Let's see. Josh is saying it basically allows you to comment on any URL on the internet. It's an awesome idea, especially when there's an article you can't comment. Oh, that's interesting. I'll have to check that out. Let's see, 124 grain, it depends. You can find sometimes 124 grain for pretty relatively good prices. So who the hell cares? I mean, like I said, whatever you get it so that it's affordable and what you can shoot. Although I shot this, trying to think what it was, Remington's police and military ammo. My God, that was the dirtiest ammo I ever shot. It was unbelievably dirty. Business saying he feels for guys like KB. Yeah, yeah, it sucks for him. I'm sure he'll still do okay, but I think the whole demonetization is ridiculous. Because again, people are putting effort into making content, and if you think about the content that's out there, I have yet to see a gun channel that is so ridiculously violent, so ridiculously stupid, ignorant, that it would be worthy of demonetizing. I mean, a lot of these channels are educational at best. I mean, they're talking like human beings with knowledge and trying to educate people on the safety parts of it and also the just the ins and out of the firearm. And I don't see why that would be even remotely demonetizable. A bull. I think that's what I want to say. Let's see. Winchester 124 grain NATO, $27. That's pretty good for 150. Jeez. Let's see. Let's see. What is your most used belt for carry? I use two belts quite a bit. Actually, I'm going to say three. So I use a lot of the Core Essential belts. I don't know if you guys know about them, but the Core Essential belts, freaking awesome belts, guys. They're so adjustable. It's hard to beat, whether it's the really thin one or even now their tactical belt. Their belts are great, especially if you kind of flux with your weight. So like in the winter, I usually will add some weight because it's wintertime. It's freezing. It sucks up here. And then in the summer, I lose a little bit of weight. And so it has that ability to be able to be more adjustable for you. And I love those belts. But the other two belts are my Blue Alpha Gear belt. Love it. It's great. I have two of them. Fantastic belts, guys. And of course, my Vetter belt. So those are the three belts that I use the most. Let's see. Yeah, I saw that HR Funk's channel was hit. And that dude is, you're right. He's as clean as educational as they come. I mean, he's almost like the stereotypical, like nerd in regards to guns. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. He's awesome to watch and he's very knowledgeable. And yeah, they hit him as well. Let's see what else we got going here. Yeah, Remington UMC is kind of crappy ammo. Not as bad as Winchester White Box. Yeah, I got a Core Essentials review coming up soon. I just got to find some time to do it, but I did get the new X5 buckle, man. It's pretty sweet. It's really nice. Does my gun belt match my shoes? It depends on the day. I don't have any multicam shoes or FDE shoes or OD green shoes. Sorry. Let's see. Sheck saying I've been switching over to SIG ammo for practice and self-defense. Not reliable in my Glock 43X. Wow, that's interesting. Any issues with the new P10C? Nope. No issues at all. It's been running like a champ. And yes, HR Funk is a lawman. He's actually, I believe, a sheriff, if I'm not mistaken. All right. So just kind of getting back to what I was shooting today. The PPS was good. It didn't really stand out as a great shooting experience for me. But again, I don't think that had anything to do. It's my volume. I don't think that had anything to do with the gun in general. I think it really had to do with just me, just getting this dot where it needed to be. It took quite a while to actually get this somewhat zeroed in, but still, even then, something happened towards the middle of the shooting. So I'm going to talk more about that in the video. But like I said, it was just one of those weird experiences. But again, we'll find out. Let's see. Spring is on the way for us. Yeah, it is. But I guess we're going to get some more snow tonight. I think like 3 inches or something like that. So I've had it. Indestructible. You need to look at Aries Aegis gun belts. I have seen those. Those look pretty cool. I think they're a bit pricey though, aren't they? I'm not sure. I'm kind of cheap. I'm not going to lie. I have to kind of stretch the budget, so I have to do what I can. And so far I haven't been disappointed in any of the belts that I had, or that I use on a constant basis. So But yeah, I've heard really good things about the Aegis gun belt. That's a pretty good solid belt. All right, let's see. Yeah, I shot Blazer today. Again, I think it was like 11 bucks a box, so I wound up buying that today. Let's see. Daniel God is my judge. I had no idea what he's doing right there. Just a random thought. He's using hieroglyphics. It's funny. And, and music saying that she has crappy shooting days. Yeah, I mean, I would like to say that because, but it wasn't. I mean, I had a great day with this damn PPQ. At least I thought it was great. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to win any shooting awards, but it just worked really well. I'm glad I went back to the gun and just shot it. It's been a while, but it definitely impressed me again, which is not a surprise because it just really is such a great gun. If I am I ever going to get into reloading? Probably when I retire. I just don't have the time between work, shuttling the kids off to sporting events, just doing typical family stuff. There's just not a lot of time. I couldn't even like I have trouble finding time to do these and videos. If I threw reloading in there, forget about it. It would never happen. Dave got hit hard with snow. Yeah, we still got snow on the ground here too. Kathleen saying she flinches really bad. My hands shake. I know it sucks. And I think really for me, that's like the kind of the downside of it is that I think I could be a better shooter if my hands didn't shake. But I think that's logical. Yeah, gotta support local shops for ammo. Yep, I agree. Pistol Pete saying he would like to try the Q5 match with that new trigger shoe. Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet, man. Because I know you could have always dropped the Apex in there, but this trigger is completely adjustable. So I think that's pretty cool in the fact that it truly makes it a competition ready handgun. Again, I'm not a master of competition, so I don't know how that would fit or what event or whatever, but I think that's pretty cool. Although I don't think it's cool that it was only released after the guns were released. I think it should have been released with it, or at least maybe come with it as an option, especially for that price. Let's see. How's the Jeep running? Jeep's running great, man. Just got washed today because it was filled with, full of salt and crap. But yeah, man, it's running great. The only thing that sucks on that Jeep is the radio. It keeps, I think it's an electrical issue, man. It keeps popping. So every once in a while, I just give an old pop, and then it'll reset itself, and the clock is reset. So I'm gonna have to take it in for that. Let's see. Kathleen saying the only pistol I have messed with the trigger is my Glock. I have a bunch of Apex triggers. I got the HB Industries trigger. I don't really have a problem doing that. I know there's always that argument that, well, if you use it and it's a self-defense situation, they could always hold that against you. But I don't know if that's necessarily true. I mean, especially if the trigger weight is the same. Um, I hope I never have to find out. Let's put it that way. Frank is saying drink heavily, no shakes. It's funny you say that, Frank, because that's actually true. If you guys know anything about essential tremor, alcohol acts as many of you know because you probably drink, but alcohol is a relaxant for your central nervous system. So as a result, you become shake free, which is kind of cool. But I will tell you, once you get over that, the next day your hands shake a little worse for a little while. Let's see. So Joey's asking, when are we going to see myself, Big J, and KS at one location? Every Wednesday night, man. Come on. Well, it's hard because Big Johnson lives in Texas, KS lives in Kansas, and I live in New York. So we're not exactly even close to each other, so to speak. I know that KS was talking about going to NRA. I thought about going to NRA. I'm still not sure. I'm probably not going to go. I'd like to go, but I'm not sure. Um, I tried to get a buddy of mine to go with me. Cause we're like, what the hell am I going to do there for like 2.5 days by myself, So I don't know yet. I haven't decided. Scott saying, screw that. We need to get a New England shoot together. Yeah, that's true too. I mean, there's a lot of people probably more in like the Connecticut, Massachusetts area. That would be doable. Even Rhode Island. Shit, it's only 6 hours away for me. Let's see. How many rounds do I shoot a month? It depends. Depends on a month. Depends on schedules. If I'm super busy, it's hard. It is. It's hard to balance everything. Today, for example, I had 500 with me today. A couple weeks ago, I had 500. So probably maybe 1,000, if not, maybe a little higher than that. It's expensive. Let's see. Meet in Chicago. No thanks. Although they could probably use it. Have I ever personally met KS or Big J? Nope. Big J and KS have. They've actually met each other because Big J is he travels a lot, so he's usually in the Midwest and all that other stuff. But he never comes up to New York, so screw him. How did we three meet? It's kind of interesting. I don't really know. A long time ago, I met Big Johnson doing a video, and then we just kind of talked, exchanged numbers. And if you guys know, he's a big talker. He likes to talk, and he talks for a long time. That's not a bad thing. But we got to talking, and it just, it kind of, I guess, grew into the chats. We started the chats together. And then we kind of got mixed in with KS, and then we invited KS to the chat, and the next thing you know, Three Guys Gun Chat was born. So that's how it all started. And somehow KS is killing us on the subs, man. That bastard. Let's see. So Pat's saying I'm all in for Connecticut. The only problem is we cannot bring any of those guns into Connecticut, because my gun permit is New York State. So it's no reciprocity there. No offense, I'm not going to jail. All right, let's see. Yeah, MAGA country. Sure, ask that one guy who's now been indicted for like 46 felonies or something. Dennis is asking, how did Big J and KS get together? It was love at first sight. No, I guess Big Johnson was in his area, so he went over there. Nate saying, let's have a safe act shoot for fellow New York guys. Buffalo here. That'd be interesting. Just get a bunch of people together in New York, I'm sure Bald and Curious would be in for that. We'd have to hear about Grand Pawa for the rest of the day. And then Bizza could be there because he's a New Yorker as well. Dennis saying, do you blame him for not wanting to come to New York? No, I don't. Josh is asking, excuse me, my thoughts on the Yankee Marshall and gun websites and Never Enough Ammo. I don't know gun websites. I don't know Never Enough Ammo. One thing about me is I don't really subscribe to a lot of the big channels. I don't. There's a few that I do, like Mr. Guns Gear. Love his channel. Military Arms channel. I don't even think I subbed them. Honest Outlaw, I subbed him, but I don't really get caught up by the big channels. I like to try to keep it in almost like a grassroots mode. Yankee Marshall, well, he is what he is. Love him or hate him. Let's see. Bizza found myself and Big J in a Jarhead 6. That's true. I remember that, man. That's right. We had less than 100. I know. That was like a long time ago, man. So Dennis saying, let's put together a shoot in New York. Okay. Well, let's do it. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we'll have to figure it out. But it'll have to be in the spring. I don't want to do it now. Let's see. Frank, all of you fly to the Atlanta airport. The Porsche test track is right next to the runway. Sweet. Doug Carlton, 10-round mags only in New York. That is correct, sir. Nothing fancy. I do not subscribe to him as well. I don't have 16 hours to sit and watch a video. Not against him. Very knowledgeable guy. I can't sit there for 45 minutes watching a video. I don't know about that music. I would say probably not. Dave saying he had a handshaking problem. Also, sarcoidosis. I think that's how you say it. Arthritis in his wrists and hands. Yeah, mine's a little different, man. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Jesse's saying his video. Yeah, I mean, nothing fancy. He does good videos, but I mean, Jesus God, they're so long. I mean, they're just ridiculously long and drawn out. And I mean, he's a great shooter. I like the way he shoots. A lot of times I will turn to certain channels for more, like, I guess, educational information. So, I hate to throw the guy's name around because he doesn't even know I exist, but Mr. Guns and Gear, I find his channel to be probably one of the best. especially when it comes to like trying to do something with your gun. Because he does it all, and I appreciate that. I like his stuff, man. I just think he does a good job. Music saying he's weird running like a soldier around. I think he was ex Air Force. It's pretty funny. Let's see. Yeah, I have my ups and downs with shooting too. Let's see. Is reciprocity ever going to be in this lifetime? Probably not. Probably not, because everybody's afraid. Afraid, afraid, afraid. I'm so scared of guns. They're so bad. Um, it's just not in. It's not in the political, I guess you could say, the political scope for them to do this, because politicians don't care about what you care about. Politicians only care about what gets them reelected. And if they were ever to pass universal reciprocity, they would not get reelected. And I think that would be a problem. Scott is saying Yankee is a troll. I'm not going to talk bad about the guy. I've never met the guy. I don't even know him. You know, I'm not going to get into battle words with a dude I don't even know. If I met him and if he was a jackass, then I would tell you. But who knows? Maybe he's like the nicest guy in the world. I have no idea. And honestly, I give him credit sometimes, because sometimes he says things that a lot of us are thinking, and he has the balls to say it. So I give him credit for that. But is what it is. He does his own thing, and he's got to be right. He's got to be doing it well. Look at his subscriber numbers. Let's see. NC Civil War, do I dry fire with snap caps or not? Any concern with firing pins? I don't use snap caps unless it's like a CZ. Like my P01s, I always have snap caps. But none of the striker fired I do. I have yet to bust a pin, dry firing. So I mean, it would suck if it happened, but it's pretty quick replacement. It's not like it's that hard to do, but I don't use snap caps. No. Let's see. Second Amendment will be gone in our lifetime. I would hope not. I would find that very difficult for them to do. They can't just wave a magic wand and get rid of it. They have to amend the Constitution. You'd have to call a constitutional convention. You'd get 2/3 of the Congress to do it. I don't ever see that happening. I really don't. Let's see. Red is saying separation of states is where we will end up. Some free gun states and some free from all. Yeah, and I think that's, and you got to be careful how they word their laws, so to speak, because they may do it as a health and safety policy, and if they do that, then you really can't you cannot challenge that in the courts, because it's not a law; it's a policy of the state government. That's what our genius governor here, Cuomo, does. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, Hawaii has its way. Yes. Yeah, but again, if they were ever to say you cannot have any guns, it's going to be challenged to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court hopefully will have enough guts to say this goes and violates the Constitution. There's an amendment already written that states that you have the right to own these guns, and the only way you're going to change that is by amending the Constitution to create another amendment that gets rid of the Second Amendment. So, I mean, the amount of money that would take and the amount of effort it would take, I don't see it happening. I really don't. I don't think that's going to happen. Business saying, how do you feel about being on YouTube showing guns with the new red flag law? That's always a risk. The red flag law, if you guys are not familiar, it allows anybody to report you, and then basically a judge can order the police to come to your house and confiscate your guns, and then ultimately you'd go to court and have to prove that you're not a threat to the community. I think it's a scary concept. I think it's going to have to be, unfortunately, somebody's going to have to be the guinea pig in this, and then ultimately it will probably be pushed to the appellate courts, and then eventually the Supreme Court, and then hopefully the red flag laws would be struck down, because it's completely unconstitutional. It violates your rights to privacy. It violates your property rights. It violates your search and seizing of your property without any kind of justifiable reason. So, I mean, there's so many different ways you can go with that. I hope I'm not the guinea pig. So, if it's somebody else, it's going to be an interesting fight. Let's see. Have I seen the new promo video for the Beretta 92X? No, I haven't. I'm gonna have to look at that. I don't even know what that is. I will definitely check that out. Look up the 92 Fusion. Hmm. It's a lot of interesting guns you guys are throwing at me. I appreciate that. Due process laws, of course. Yep. Don't estimate Democrats, vote them out at every opportunity. Just get out of there. It's not, it's impossible to vote out the Democrats in New York State. The only way that's going to happen is when New York State completely falls on its face and people get so frustrated that they eventually wake up. But it's not an easy fight here. It really is not. Let's see. Yankee Marshall is doing a video on it. On what? The red flag laws, I'm assuming. Something's going on with Daniel. I'm not sure. Maybe I missed it. Yeah, there was that talk that New York State was going to split up between the city and then the outlying counties, and then of course, you have your really sharp city politicians saying, "Go ahead, split, and then suffer." Basically, saying that the city brings in the money to the state, which is absolutely not true. It's not true. Nope, it's not. Let's see. Oh, his mom, huh? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. I hope your mom does well, whatever's going on. Everybody say a prayer for my friend here. Daniel God is my judge. I'm glad to see your mom's eating solid food. So whatever she's going through, I hope she's doing better, my friend. Yeah, Washington State is like a disaster. New York City is a shithole. You're right, it is. I hate it. I hate the city. I absolutely hate it there. I want to look that up. I don't even. Where's my phone? You got me intrigued by this Beretta 92X. Let's see. Beretta. I'm gonna look this up. Sorry, guys. There's a lot of dead time right here. Beretta 92X. Ooh. Wow. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's pretty. I like that. Very nice. Very nice. So, Red, there are no two other guys. This is my own personal chat on Saturdays. We do ours on Wednesday. Let's see. Yeah, Dennis, you are correct. It's any urban area in New York State that is a disaster, and they're the ones who keep taking away whatever rights we have. So, New York City, Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse, they're basically the thorn in the side, so to speak. Yeah, 92X looked pretty sweet. I look pretty cool. I like the stainless look of it and everything. Let's see. Dennis B. Yankee Marshall did a review on the 92X. What a surprise. What a surprise. It has a frame mounted safety too. Yeah, I didn't even notice that. You guys are. Oh, yeah, look at that. I like the trigger too. The trigger looks pretty cool. It almost has like a 1911-ish look to it if you look at it. It's pretty cool. Uh-oh, Biz is up in Rochester. He knows what I'm talking about when he's drinking his pop and eating his square pizza. Joey's asking, will we see all three of you guys next Wednesday? I'll say yes, but you can never be too sure. Let's see. Yankee Marshall literally put up the video on his 92X about 20 minutes ago. Good for him. Now everybody's going to start leaving and start watching it. Let's see. Yeah, what do you guys think about stainless guns? I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of stainless guns. I kind of like, Cerakoted gray is kind of nice, but I don't like the high shine of even something like this is kind of, it's okay, but it's not great. Look how dirty that damn thing is. And they just cleaned it. I don't know if you can see it, right there. Let's see. Yeah, that Langdon Elite 92 looks good too. That looks pretty cool. Beretta makes some nice stuff. I've never been a fan of Berettas, but I do like the PX4. You can see there's no slide there because I actually had to get my gun guy to push some sights on for me. I got some Trijicon sights for this bad boy. So I can't wait to get it back. Let's see. Is Buffalo, New York lefty? Yes, it is. Absolutely. And if you look at Buffalo, Buffalo in certain areas is actually kind of going through a renaissance, so to speak. But a lot of the parts of Buffalo are still impoverished and just poor. Same thing with Rochester, man. Does you know what I'm talking about, brother? Do I have any Berettas? I do. I have the PX4 Storm. I was actually looking at the APX Centurion. I do like that gun a lot, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it just yet. Will the 48 continue to or be another 36? Um, I don't know what that means. I don't know. Are stainless guns more or less corrosion resistant than, say, Tennifer? I would say they're less because you have to make sure you maintain um, their surface. I think they're going to be more prone to rusting. PX4 Storm is super durable, or the finish on it. Yeah, I agree. I still have the PX4. Here's the lower. I don't have the slide because I had to send it over to my local gun shop to push on the front sight. That thing was such a pain in the ass. I just gave up. I gave up. So I had to send it to him. So he's gonna push it on. Let's see. So New York State has two types of pistol licenses: carry or premise only. Nah, it's more than that. You have carry, 100% concealed carry. You have on in your household only, or for target shooting. So that's it. You don't necessarily have to have a license. Well, on premise only, that would be your particular license. So you're restricted to only on your house. If you have a full carry, which I have, you carry anywhere you want as long as it's allowed by the government. So no state parks, no, post offices, that kind of stuff. What causes the state to be so left? The people or the government? It really boils down to policy. It boils down to policy. It boils down to economics. Again, I'm not going to say I'm an expert, but when you have a mass migration of people leaving the state because the taxes are too high, because the policies are not necessarily business friendly, so on and so forth, you're going to get an influx of new people coming in who don't necessarily have the financial ability to, I guess, be viable in the state. And so you've got to pander to those people. And as a result, if you flood the state in with all of them, now you have a perfect population of people you can control. And that's what kind of happened in New York. It's a very unfortunate story. Let's see. Whoa, I just lost my there we go. Let's see. More states should have constitutional carry is an interesting idea. I mean, it really is. It's such an odd idea to me, just because it would never happen here. But at the same time, it is such an odd thing that you can carry no matter what, just because it's a constitutional right. Like, it's such a cool concept. Definitely would be cool. Yeah, objects in the mirror are closer than they appear. They relay that to history. Well, I mean, you never know what's going to happen. It's a shame that we even have to discuss this. And I think that when you look at how people react to the United States as a whole right now, especially our own people, it is absolutely alarming to see the hatred that people have for this country. And even though they're living in this country freely and able to say whatever the hell they want and making a living and probably living better lives than you and I, it's just amazing to see them bash what we have. It's very disturbing, very alarming. Like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I can't stand her. As dumb as a box of rocks. Keith is saying his state is passing a law where you can conceal carry without a permit. That's awesome. You're right. Correct. Civil War. You are absolutely right. If you are a carry permit holder like I am, you cannot go to New York City or any of the boroughs. You'll get arrested immediately. It's a pain in the ass to get a gun license for the city. Dennis, what county are you in again? I think aren't you in Dutchess, if I'm not mistaken? Yeah, Music saying it's her boyfriend. Yeah, the one she was shuttling money to. Yeah, I mean, it's just ridiculous. And then you listen to them in Congress and the way they talk when if you listen to her talk, you're an adult. Have a conversation without saying the word like every 5 seconds. It's ridiculous. For God's sakes. It's like, how did people get suckered into voting for somebody like her? And you know what? I'd love to have a debate with her. I would love it. I'd crush her. Uh, yeah, exactly. Smart enough. She's not smart enough to hide that. She has her handlers hiding all that stuff. And yeah, it's surprising, Dennis, that you're saying that about Dutchess because I know Dutchess was killing Ulster County for a while. Ulster's kind of getting good. I mean, the last gun I had picked up was like I think maybe a 10-day wait, and that's really short for me, like super short. That's bad public speaking ethics. That is correct. And we're all susceptible to it. A lot of us do the ums and the ahs, those verbal pauses. I do in a lot of my videos, but that's because it's not scripted. Um, like right there. But at least I don't say like. Well, this gun is like my favorite, like because it shoots like different bullets. But she's really, really from the city. So if you guys ever go down to the city and you listen to how people speak, I guarantee you none of them are saying like every 5 seconds. And she's not. She's not a city girl. That was also a myth. Let's see. Did you have to get some special considerations before they gave a CCW permit in New York? You just fill out your application, get your fingerprints done, then you go in front of a judge, and you basically have to justify why you should get a full carry permit. I live in a rural area. The police force I have here is a part-time force. Um, we've got coyote, bear, you name it. So, and I got kids, and so I felt that for me, the best way to protect my family and my home and myself was to have a full carry permit. And so I was granted one. Thank God. She got voted in because she played, unfortunately, and as a fellow Hispanic, she played the Hispanic card, and people fell for it like she was one of them. And that's a lot of times what you see. You see the identity politics is what they call it, and unfortunately, people get suckered in if your name is like Spanish. So as soon as they saw that, people jumped on and say, "Oh, she's like us," and she struggled, and she invented those stories. I mean, a lot of the stories she told were bullshit. Do I have a social media background check in New York? Because that shit is ridiculous. It is not. They have not passed that. It was there was a guy down in the city who was trying to get it passed. Who, by the way, was actually convicted of domestic battery, which is kind of interesting. And as of now, they have not pushed it. So we're going to see how that plays out. Pistol Department was closed for about 3 weeks due to them moving to a new building. Yeah, I remember you saying that's right. Well, hopefully they'll get it in check, because I know you guys were definitely much better than Ulster County. Have my subs increased with doing the solo chats? No. Which drives me insane. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I mean, I can't even get to 10,000. I don't know what I need to do to get that to happen. I always say I think I do pretty good content. I mean, it's not the best, guys. I know that, but Jesus, I mean, I'm not even at 10,000 yet. So it is what it is. I think I'm at like 8,300. I don't even know. But no, I have not seen a big uptick in my regards to the solo chats. As if anything, people are leaving. Let's see. So if you live in New York City, concealed carry permits are hard to get. Absolutely, extremely hard to get. They're almost impossible to get. Let's see. Yeah, she surrounded herself with marketing, but that's the whole DNC, man. They put somebody on a pedestal, and then they market them, and they market them to individuals who are going to be unfortunately ignorant enough to say they are great. Let's see. Let's see. Pistol saying that he thinks the live streams would help. Frank saying do giveaways. Nope. I'm not buying your subs, guys. So you either like the channel or you don't. You far surpass many of us. Yeah, that's true. Listen, I'm thankful for what I got, man. Music, I'm pretty sure that's not gonna happen. No, 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 no sexy content. If I wasn't in New York, I'd have 5 times as many subs. I always wondered about that. I don't know if that plays a role in it, to be honest with you, because it's not a huge gun community here. I mean, there's some, but it's just not big. Nate saying he's Buffalo, Niagara County. There's some counties up there that they give you the pre-made coupons. So you just go in and say, "Hey, I want to buy a couple of guns," and they give you those coupons right away, and then you just hand them in within a certain time frame, which is pretty cool. They don't do that around here. Let's see. You need KS money to buy more. I need KS's subs, man. That's what I need. Although I gotta push more videos. I think that's the winning key. CC permit is only $10 in your state. No, no, I didn't pay $10. I paid over $100 for it. Keith's saying when he remembers when I had less than 100 subs. Yeah, I mean, I look back at that. Oh my god, those videos were horrible. They were so bad. Not that they're much better now, but holy Christ, they were just terrible. Matt saying because where I live and I'm receive a gun, doing extraordinary job. Yeah, you know what? I agree with that. It takes forever for me to get guns, man, and I think that hurts a lot. And Dexter, you're right. It's always a wait. It's always a wait. I have to do more memes. Yep, Frank, coupons to buy firearms. That's right. Red saying, "How did I meet KS Gun Guy?" I was on a dating site. No, I'm just kidding. We just met through just watching videos and communicating back and forth. But again, that's how I met a lot of the guys. Like Coda Boy. We text. He calls me every once in a while. I call him every once in a while if I need some advice on some stuff. Pops Quest, I don't really know him very well, but he's always very cool with comments and stuff. So I mean, it's just a matter of just talking to people, and just being open to the idea that they're like real people like yourself. Let's see. Um, when will AOC leave DC? Probably after her first term. I can't see her getting put back in. Uh, yeah, they are making laws as we speak. You're right. They're trying everything they can. Let's see. Yeah, it's a lot of states like that, see, Kim. For me, it's not like that at all. If you have to wait. You have to wait. And every time you go in to buy a new handgun, after you get your little green like coupon, you then have to go through another NICS background check. So every time you buy a gun, you have to go through another background check every single time. It's crazy. So, all right, guys. So it is now 9:01. You guys know that I only do these for about an hour, and I'm a little bit over that. Got 50 people watching. Excuse me. So I just want to say thank you, everybody, for coming out and saying hello and joining the chat tonight. It's always fun. I really do enjoy them. A lot of the things we talk about on Saturday nights are just random stuff that you guys bring up, and it's always fun. So I just want to say thank you for supporting the channel. I want to say thank you for just subbing and always being a part of the chats and just following everybody. And again, everybody who's here, go to their channels and sub them, even if they don't have content, because I think everybody should support everybody, do the best we can. Hopefully you guys have a great night. Again, if you are warm and sunny, God bless you. If you're cold and freezing, well, a couple of more weeks, hopefully we'll get some warmth coming. So have a great night, guys. Stay safe. And as always, freedom is never free.